Welcome to Solar Astrognan. So today's topic is about the outer planets and the inner planets. If you have not seen the first video of the inner planets and the outer planets, kindly see that video. After that, you can watch this video because it's an extension part of that video. Okay. So previously I have discussed about the innermost planets and the outermost planets and how it plays a very important role in the predictions you make. So this is the extension part which I want to share you. I'll take you to the screen. Like I'll take you to the screen now. So the inner planets, to who have not seen the first video, so to brief them out, um, we have inner planets and the outer planets. Okay. So what are the inner planets and what are the outer planets? I'll brief you out. The sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, and the Mars. These are the inner planets, and the outer planets are Jupiter and the Saturn. And Rahu Ketu, as you all know, these are the shadow planets, and it is also called as the outer planets also. But these two planets, that is Mars and Ketu, it is called the intermediary planet. That is, they play very important uh, role in both, like internally and externally also. Because these two are the intermediary planets, whichever any planet which want to enter into the internal zone, they need to take the permission of the Mars and Ketu only. Then only they can enter into the internal zone. Thus, I have told you in the previous video. Kindly watch that video. Okay. So and today I want to extend on the more prediction part and the outermost planets and the innermost planets. So taking the constellations of the Jupiter, that is the nakshatras of the Jupiter. So we have nakshatra of the Jupiter is Punarvasu nakshatra, uh, Punarvasu nakshatra, and Vishaka nakshatra, Vishaka, and the other nakshatra is Purva Bhadra nakshatra, Purva Bhadra, and Saturn nakshatra is Pushya, Anuradha, and the Uttara Bhadra. And the Rahu nakshatra is Ardra is the first one, Ardra, Swati, and the Shatabisha nakshatra. And the Ketu nakshatras, I am not discussing about the Ketu nakshatra. As you all know, the Ketu nakshatra is Ashwini is the first one, Makha, and the Ketu nakshatra is Mula. Okay. So these are the constellations of the nakshatra. So previously I have discussed when the outer planets come into the internal zone, they will create a problem. So in the same way, when the outer nakshatras like Jupiter nakshatras and Saturn nakshatras and Rahu nakshatras, whenever the planet goes into these nakshatras also, it will create a problem. Why? Because these are the outer area nakshatras, that is the outer planet nakshatras, I mean to say. See, Jupiter nakshatra, Punarvasu nakshatra, Vishaka nakshatra, and Purabhadra nakshatra. How this will create a problem? I'll tell you. Since Jupiter is the outer nakshatra, they will have very good contacts outside, but not their family life will be very much disturbed also. See, if you take any nakshatra of the Jupiter, you ask them whether your family life is good or not. Definitely, they will be having family problems, because no, these the nakshatra, they cannot mingle with the family members. They will have very good relationship in the outer area, that is outsiders will be they will like them very much also. All the Punarvasu nakshatra, all the Jupiter nakshatras, they will be liked by the outer people, because they will be surprised that why your family life is getting disturbed, because you are very good person. But no, they cannot mingle with the family, because they get frustrated while speaking to the family members also. They will not have very cordial relationship with the family members. Whereas the inner nakshatra constellations, right, the sun nakshatra or the moon nakshatra or Mercury nakshatra, Venus nakshatra or Mars nakshatra, they will have very good rapport with their family members. Okay, you take any nakshatra of the inner nakshatras, they will have very good family life. Of course, they might be having a little bit issues with the family members also, that I'll come into the detail part. So whenever these outer nakshatras, outer planet nakshatras also, whenever the sun goes into the Punarvasu, Vishaka or Purva Bhadra, or the sun going into the Saturn nakshatras Pushya, Anuradha and Uttara Bhadra, and whenever it is goes into the Ardra, Swati, Shatabisha nakshatra, it will definitely it will create a problem, because it is the outer nakshatra, the inner planet is coming into the outer area. So they will face lot of challenges here with in respect to the family or in respect to the profession. Starting from your ascendant, if whichever the house is there, if the inner planets coming into the inner planets going into the outside or outer planets coming into the inside, definitely it will create a problem. So you might be surprised that if you see like that, everybody will be having a problem. Yeah, everybody are facing problem in any which way, because we are come on the earth only to enjoy the fruits of the good and bad. Okay, so, but here how to distinguish between the good and bad, only we are discussing here about the inner planets and the outer planets. So, the outer planets, whenever the inner planets, the inner zone of the zodiac sign, that is the inner zone of the zodiac sign is what, starting from the Aries to the Scorpio, it is the inner zone, and the outer zone is from the Sagittarius to the Pisces, it is the outer zone. So whenever the planets, outer planets coming to the inside zone, definitely it will have a control on the inner zone. I mean to say, how the control will be means, that will be out of your control. Say suppose the Jupiter is coming into the inner zone area, even though is getting exalted in the inner zone, that area from your ascendant, whichever the Jupiter is sitting, wherever the house the Jupiter is sitting, that house that house related things will not be under your control. But how, when it will be under your control is, if at all it's sitting in the sun constellation, that is sun nakshatra, moon nakshatra, Mercury nakshatra or Venus nakshatra, then it will be under your control in some, it will be somewhat controllable. Okay, even though is the enemy nakshatra also, somewhere you can have a control. But if at all the same Jupiter is falling in the Jupiter nakshatra itself, then it has become more powerful, and the entire thing is going into the control of others. Okay, you will not have a control on that. You will not have a control on that. Okay, so in the same way, the Saturn nakshatra, so the Pushya nakshatra, Anuradha nakshatra, and Uttarabhadra nakshatra also, it's a outer, it is Saturn nakshatras. Saturn is the outer nakshatra. So whichever the planet, that is the inner constellations, that is in the inner most constellation nakshatras, that is the sun nakshatra, moon nakshatra, Mercury nakshatra or Venus nakshatra or Mars nakshatra. Whenever it is going into the Saturn nakshatras or Rahu nakshatras or the Jupiter nakshatra, definitely it will create a problem. So I have done a research on all these things, and I found it very beautifully working on all the charts. So you ask them, have you facing a problem in your family or the health issues? Say suppose he is not having a cordial relationship with the family members, but he will be facing problem in the health issues. Okay, if you see any of the planet which is going into the Anuradha nakshatra, Saturn nakshatra, Jupiter nakshatra, definitely it will create a problem regarding health at least. If at all he is not facing problem in the family life or the personal life, it will create a problem in the health, that is it will take a control over the health. So health will not be under his control. Okay, so this is what have made a research on these outer planets and the inner planets. So whenever say suppose the Jupiter, the sun is going into the, to give an example on the chart. So whenever your sun is going into the Venus nakshatra, sorry, if it is going into the Jupiter nakshatra or the Saturn nakshatra in the inner zone, it is it will definitely give a problem. If it is going in the outer zone also, but it will be somewhat good. Say suppose the sun is placed in the from the Aries to Scorpio, which in different houses, whether it is falling in the Jupiter nakshatra, Saturn nakshatra, or Rahu nakshatra, definitely it will give a bad result. Okay, say suppose the even though sun is getting exalted also in the Aries also, if it is falling in the falling in the Venus nakshatra, Venus nakshatra or Venus nakshatra, definitely, because it is falling in if you take the exaltation point also of the sun, it is 10 degrees, which will come in the Ashwini nakshatra. 13 till 13.2, the Ashwini nakshatra will be there. So 10 degrees is the exaltation point of the sun. So it is falling in the, as I told you in the previous this thing, it is the intermediary planet. The Mars and Ketu are the intermediary planet, which will play a very important role in the inner areas and the outer areas. Okay, because it's a most energetic nakshatras, this Mars and Ketu. So it will have a very good role in wherever it is spread, it will give a very good result. Mars, except Mars and Ketu. So here, because the sun is getting exalted in the Ketu nakshatra, which is Ashwini nakshatra, that is the reason the exaltation is very good in this point. Okay. At the same way, if at all the sun goes in the other nakshatra rather than the outer nakshatra, if at all the sun is going in the Ardra nakshatra, definitely it will create a problem in the relationship with the father. And at the same time, if at all he is not facing a relationship challenge with his father, definitely he'll have a professional imbalance. So, or if at all this is not happening with his father or profession, then it will take a third step, that is the health issues. He will be having different kind of health issues. So what I mean to say here, the final crux which I want to say is, whichever the whenever the outer planets coming into the internal area, definitely that place will not be under your control. It will go out of your control. And if at all it is falling in the constellations of the Jupiter or the Saturn, then also things or Rahu nakshatras also, these three planet nakshatras, it will go out of your control. You will not have a control over them. Okay, they will do as per their wish only. They will not listen to your words. Okay, this is so. Coming to the health related issues also, so they definitely it will create a problem. Okay, so you test it in different charts and let me know. And if you want a detailed session on this in this weekend, this coming Sunday, I'm 7:30. I will take a free class on this. If anybody is interested to share their own charts or any tough chart which you are not able to predict, so only this concept I'll use. I'll not use any other concept, because this is my own research which I've done, which I've done. So if you want to know more about this, how these outer planets and inner planets will work on different charts, because it's a very beautiful technique. Simple predictions you can make. Simple plans. If you blindly you can predict, if at all any Jupiter nakshatra is coming to you, like it may be Punarvasu, Vishaka or Purvabhadra, ask them one question without seeing chart. Only you can ask one question: whether family is into a trouble. That are you having any family related issues? Definitely you will say yes, because no, this is the outside nakshatra which is coming into the internal zone. So definitely it will create a problem. Punarvasu nakshatra, Vishaka nakshatra, you ask them. definitely they'll say yes. Exceptional case is Purva Bhadra Nakshatra because it is falling in the outside area only. Even though it's a Jupiter Nakshatra, but no, here Jupiter falling in Purvabhadra Nakshatra will not create any family related issues, because no, it is falling in the outer region only, and it is there in its own nakshatra, which is the outer nakshatra zone only, so it will not create a problem. So here when you practically see the different charts, I can explain you more in detail. So if you want to have a clear session on this, it's a free class, it's a free session, it's a friendly discussion we have on the charts. So anybody is interested to come to the showing interest to participate in this free session of the outermost planets and innermost planets, they are most welcome. And ping me to my number 9110726185. I am interested to participate in the class that is for the outermost and innermost planets. Just ping me on my number, just send me a WhatsApp that I am interested. So I'll send you a link of the Zoom link I'll be sending to you. We will have a discussion on that, so that you will have a clarity on the outer nakshatras and inner nakshatras. And this is a very beautiful concept, I can say, because I don't want to keep my research with me only, because I thought of taking a class on this, but because this I want to give it to free for everybody, so that this concept will it's a beautiful concept. You can predict why this person is facing a problem in the whoever coming for the consultations for you or your own chart. So you can do wonderful predictions, and you can find out your own problem, why this nakshatra is, why my chart is giving this kind of a problem. And you might be thinking like different things. You might be thinking the bhava bala, shed bala, these all the different things. See, but here no, simply to find out a problem, this will help you. And regarding the remedies also, see, that's the reason no, you need to do more remedies to the Jupiter outermost nakshatras only, will create lot of problem. But here keep one thing in mind, from the Sagittarius to Pisces, if you are the innermost planets like Sun, Venus, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars are coming into the, except Mars, leave Mars. If at all these four nakshatras, the Sun, Moon, Mercury and the Venus are coming into this zone, see the constellations also, see the nakshatras also. If at all they are not, they are falling in their own outer nakshatra zone nakshatra, that is, it is falling in the Jupiter nakshatra, Saturn nakshatra, it will not create a problem. But if it is falling in the our innermost nakshatra, that is falling in the Savana nakshatra, Dhanishta nakshatra, Uttarashada nakshatra, okay, Purvashada nakshatra, or the Revati nakshatra, definitely it will create a problem. So this is the clear cut understanding you can have and predict. You can blindly predict on this, like whenever the inner nakshatra are coming into the outer nakshatra and falling in the outer constellation nakshatra, it will create a problem. Whenever the inner zone planets, whenever the outer planets are coming into the internal area, definitely it will create a problem. You will have a you will not have a control on that, and even it will become more powerful than it's in the its own outer area nakshatra. That is, it will create a problem when it is come to the internal nakshatra zone. That is, if it is falling in the uh, outer nakshatra, that is Ardha nakshatra, any Rahu nakshatra, Saturn nakshatra, or Pushya nakshatra, it will become more strong and it will create more problem to you. Okay, so try to understand this concept of outermost planets and internal planets, innermost planets. It's a, it will give a wonderful insight about the outer planets and inner planets. You can predict very well using this concept of innermost planets and the outermost planets. Thank you. I'll come out with more interesting videos. Thank you.